Hi, I'm making this little Christmas tree from the Idrija Lace school first book, and we're working on the asymmetrical points. I have the diagram here, and I'm just working from the right coming in on the straight and going out. The curve is on the left, and there is an extra pinhole on the left that I have to sort out. This is the straight coming in, and here is the extra pinhole. I've just made the bar, the joining bar there, and I'm working back through the 4 passives with the worker. At the point where there are no pins or anything, I know I put a temporary pin there so that I can do a sewing. So I'm going to put that pin, there's the worker and the first passive. I'm going to put it behind those two, just in the centre there. And the worker is not needed until I'm way over onto this side, so I'll put that right at the back of the pillow out of the way so it won't cause confusion. This is my new worker, and on this worker I'm going to put a twist because it's after a pin. That's where I'm going to do a sewing coming back down this side, and that will help it be a nicer hole for the crochet hook to go through. So I work back through my passives. Now, because I'm coming straight up onto a corner, there are no more pinholes on this side, and on the diagram we have that we do 2 sets of turning stitches, one on the way up, one on the way down after the pin. So as I've only got 2 passives left, it has to be on these. The turning stitch is cross, twist, cross, twist, cross. Or if you just want to think of it in 5 movements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll just twist around the pin. Move the pillow so that I'm working back down the other way. And I've still got my worker hanging on there. I've got my 2 passives working here, 3 passives. This is coming round the pin, and I'm going to make the fixing stitch again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tension up on all 4 bobbins to make sure there's no loops. Do the same thing again with the next pair. Tension that up, making sure there's no loops. And now we come up to the extra pinhole. So I can't do that sewing until this pinhole has been sorted out. So it's you've got to wait for your sewing, but this pair here, I'm going to cross with the working pair, and this pair, the last pair of passives, is going to be the new worker, so that one is going to wait. This is going to make the outside stitch. Just find the stitch underneath the threads. There we go. Come back through those 2 passives. This pair is going to make the sewing, so this pair is in the way of me making that sewing, so I'll go through that as well. These 2 passives do swap places. I'll show you on the diagram. When you start, one passive as you're coming in is on the outside. We go around and do these, but then you're taken over by the 3rd passive, which comes and does that outside stitch, makes the sewing, and then becomes the outside passive. So you can see green and pink, pink and green, they do swap places, those 2. So if you're using colours, just be aware of that. So I've got to the place where I need to make my sewing. Nice big hole created partly by the pin, the size of the pin that I've used, and also by the extra twist that was added on at that place. Make my loop, feed the other one through, try and avoid tangling the thread around all the pins, which seems to be half the fun of making this type of lace. Avoid the pins, and bringing the worker back down. The worker now takes over and works out to the edge. That becomes a passive. That is a passive. Nothing fancy on this now, we're back to tape. Passive, passive, twist, twist, ordinary pin, and back and forth to the next one. What you are looking for when you're making asymmetric corners, because they don't tell you which one to use, the ones in the book are actually labelled 1, 2, 3, 4, but what you're actually looking for is which the straight edge is and where the extra dot is. This one comes in straight, comes out with a curve. The extra dot is always on the curve, so I will be using number 1 on this one, which comes in straight. The extra dot is always on the curve and comes out there, so that will be straight in and out. That's number 1. I'll follow that diagram, and there are 4 of them all together. They're mirror images. There are actually only 2, but one is the mirror image of the other for doing the opposite side. Okay, hope that helps.